Hello, hello. Good morning, YouTubers. This is Miss Trina, your host of the podcast. Luk'A'Here, y'all, by way of the Caregiver podcast. I'm gonna actually have two podcasts going on, but for right now, I'm still trying to work with this one. I'm still trying to learn this one. So, with that being said, we can get into it. Good morning again. Grab your coffee because this is a part two to Vanished Voices, the missing elderly in Texas. On the first podcast that I did, I covered a story that I came across, and it does tie into dementia and in-home care and facility care and all of those things that help ensure that our seniors in Texas stay safe. Now, for this portion, I have statistics and I have examples. So, with that being said, let's just get right into it. I'm gonna set the scene for you. Okay? Now, picture this. Your 81-year-old grandfather, okay, just lost his 79-year-old wife. They were married for 61, 62 years. Okay. He lost her to cancer because she was on hospice and her life, unexpectedly ended. I mean, they knew it was going to end, but, not that soon. So her life unexpectedly ended and he was in grief. I mean, he was grieving. He was hurt. He was sorrowful. He was, upset because his life partner is gone now. The person that he's been sharing his life with for the last 60 plus years is gone now. So that will throw you into a tailspin, a turmoil, grief. And during this whole process, when family and friends come to your house and everybody is bringing food and condolences and cards and, offering sweet memories of the person that was lost, it's a whole big to-do. Everybody is around and people is coming together. People that haven't seen each other in years, probably, they coming together. So while everybody is being with each other and sharing memories, the husband walks off. He just walked off. All these people at his house, nobody saw this man walk off. Okay? 81 years old. But on a good note, Texas EquiSearch is currently looking for him. So that's a good thing. They haven't found him yet, to my knowledge. As I'm recording this session, I don't think they found him yet. So I'm gonna have to go back and do my research and stop coming to y'all with examples and don't have no backup for it. Don't have no ending to the story. But I already marked it off. So I'm gonna research two stories: his story and Mrs. Tobb's story, the lady that I followed in my first Vanished Voices podcast. Now, in Texas, the silver alerts have increased annually. I mean, reflecting the growing concern of the elderly with dementia in Texas. Silver alerts. Wow. A lot of them. A lot of silver alerts. The median age of the missing is 77 years, but most cases involve 75 to 84 years. 75 years to 84 years old. That's the majority of the silver alerts that are put out throughout Texas about the missing elderly. They median age is 75 to 84 years. And 72.5 of the missing in Texas are men, while 37.9% are female. So that means 72.5% of the pawpaws is missing. 72.5 of the uncles, of the brothers, of the cousins, are missing in Texas. And Texas is a big state, so when you look at it like that, they could be anywhere. So the search effort is always got to be ramped up. It's always got to start at 2,000 and then work its way down with the days that they're searching for an elderly person. And it does. The days do dwindle. The leads do fall off. But it always takes dedicated individuals in EquiSearch and in your community to actually find these people. And for us to be vigilant and keep an eye out for any trucks, any license plates, any cars, anything that's been broadcast over the airwaves, that's what we look for. That's what we're going to keep our eyes open for with these silver alerts. Because like I said, it's too many. It's too many silver alerts out here. Now, the majority of the missing in Texas are white residents at 68.2%. White residents in Texas, 68.2% of the elderly is missing. Followed by the black population, which is 19.3% missing. 19.3%. Now, when it comes to the Hispanic and the Asian community, 9.4 is missing. I'm not going to say only. I was going to say only because it's lower than 13.9, because it's lower than 68.2. But you just can't say only. They missing too. So with that being said, when it comes to like Asian or Pacific Islanders in Texas, 2.7 of those people are missing. So I can't say, the white population is way higher than the black population. The black population is way higher than the Hispanic population. The Hispanic population is way higher than the Asian Pacific Islander population. But it doesn't matter, because they all are a part of one population, and that's Texas's population. They all are a part of one population, and that's God's population. They still human first and foremost. And when you look at it, you would always think like, how is these people missing? Like, who could have let this person walk off, or who wasn't keeping their eye on this person, knowing their condition, But I also found that the times of disappearance, the majority are always between the afternoon and the evening hours, like 12 to 5. You know what I mean? 12 to 7, something like that, the afternoon and the evening. And those are the times when people actually, get up and have breakfast or have them a little something to eat. And if there's no one there with them, then they're basically trapped in their own loneliness, and the mind does click. It does click. You can have 20 million thoughts going around in your head, but when you grab a hold to that one, and that one you grab a hold, you think it's right, you're going to go with it. Whether it be walk off, I got to go to the store, I got to go pick my kids up from school. Kids ain't been in school in years. I got to do this. I got to do that. And if there is not a person there to catch them at that moment when it happens, then it will go out of control. And when I say go out of control, I mean the family members won't know how to handle it if they haven't researched it, if they haven't been into it, if they haven't had any dealings with it. Then they will have a hard time with it. And that's where the Texas resources come in. You can always call the agent, is it the National Institute on Aging, the NIA, something like that. But I know, and I'm gonna start having numbers for y'all too. But the program to call, I think, in Texas is or it can be the state ombudsman. Now I researched them. I got a podcast on them too. Or it can be the state ombudsman. Just someone, reach out to someone, because Texas has a lot of resources. And statistically, I've also learned that the what they call the witching hours, that 11 at night to 7 in the morning, that's a time when a majority of the people go missing too. And that was at 43% of the people, of the seniors that go missing in Texas, are between the hours of 11 and 7, which is, one form of sundowners when you look at it. But for the most part, it all depends on who is with that person at night, what kind of care that person is receiving through the night, And 63% of the silver alert cases involve cars. Like, nobody knew that Aunt Deborah was losing it, so-called. Nobody knew it. So Aunt Deborah would get it in her mind one night to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, go get in her car, and drive to the store. But on her way to the store, she forgot where she was going, because it just dawned on her that she's outside in the middle of the night. So, and that can get a person lost too. So, and my thing with that is, if you do have a family member that you're living with that's up in age, that's got cognitive decline, please keep your eyes on them. Please, because not only are they our family members, but they are an important part of our family history. And when we preserve that history, we'll have something to pass on to the younger generations up under us. Not just the stories itself, but the caring. First and foremost, it's the caring. Now, most of the cases are linked to dementia, even the cases involving cars, just like I said, in interstate disappearances. Because one person can leave Texas and drive to Arkansas, they can drive to Oklahoma, they can drive to New Mexico. It all depends on what part of Texas they are in. But at the same time, when that does occur, it makes hard for searching for them, because in our minds, to our knowledge, they are right here in Texas. We have no idea like who they know in the next state, or who could be in the next county, because we don't know, because 9 times out of 10 we're not involved in their lives like that. No way. We just know that they are aunt. We just know that they are uncle. We just know that they're our cousin or whatever. We don't know nothing personal about them, except for the fact that they in our family. Now, there was a 76-year-old woman. Yeah, there was a 76-year-old woman I covered in my first podcast about the missing in Texas, the one that was taken from a Denton facility. She didn't walk off. She was taken from a Denton facility, and she wound up 1,200 miles away back in Michigan, where she's from. So, now that sounds like, to me, to my knowledge, someone didn't want her in Texas. Someone didn't want her in that facility. So they came and got her and took her home. Whether it be her children that moved her so they can be close, or another family member that has medical power of attorney, whatever the case was, whoever it was that came and got her, basically and simply just didn't want to live without her, because that's what they knew, and that's all they knew. So, and that's another thing too, when you disrupt a senior's life and their livelihood, because if you're not there to actually feed into what they have going on and fit into their life, then it's going to be a hard transition. It really is. So, but she was found safe. She was just found in another state, in her home state. So she was found safe. So that's a good ending to that story. But over 400,000 Texans with dementia. We have over 400,000 Texans with dementia right now. 60% will wander off only once. But the elderly individuals living alone or in state facilities, they are at a higher risk. Girl, let me get it to y'all again. The people that are living at home and in certain nursing facilities are at a higher risk. Now see, this is just weird. And the reason why I say that, because if you are at home taking care of somebody, how can they get away from you? If that person is in a facility with trained staff, locked doors, controlled access in and out of dementia units, how do these people go missing? How? Somebody dropping the ball around here, Texas, and it ain't cool. So look at her, y'all. Now, if you gonna be a caregiver, if you gonna be somebody that, a companion or whatever, be more vigilant in what you're doing, and just keep in mind that these people can walk off. These people can go missing. It's bad enough that the mind is in a cognitive decline, and certain parts of their life are missing. But if we can catch them at that point, right when it starts, then we can prolong that cognitive decline. We can prolong that combat that sense of loneliness. Period. It takes us. It takes us first. Now, a 78-year-old man went missing in Dallas. For real. A 78-year-old man went missing in Dallas. Hours later, he was found in another county. See, this is what I mean. Another county. That means a whole nother, not city, but a whole nother county away this man was found. 78 years old. And it makes you wonder, like, did he walk there? Did somebody give him a ride? Did he hitchhike? However it went, all scenarios are dangerous, but thank God he was found. And there was a 72-year-old woman that disappeared from her house in Houston. From her house in Houston. From her own house in Houston. Wow. And it just makes you, ask the question, like, who taking care of these people? Because that's what I say every time I read a story like this, or come across a story like this. I sure do. I sure do. Now, there was also a veteran, like I said in my first podcast. Texas has a alert, they used to have an alert called the Camo alert. And that alert was for servicemen that are either discharged or current servicemen that have either PTSD or depression or some kind of brain injury that had them discharged from the armed services. But with that being said, those people are monitored too, and they can walk off too. They can disappear too. So even though your cousin was in the army and he came back all messed up and tripping out, that's the one you need to try to keep your eye on. That's the one you need to be helping. So but like I said, a veteran. There was a veteran that walked away from a mental facility. Because he had mental, defects, but he walked away from a mental facility. He was found hours later by community volunteers. EquiSearch is good to look. You got to organize them. You got to get them together. But you can get your community together quicker than you can EquiSearch. True enough, it takes one phone call to get EquiSearch, but it takes one person, one voice in their community, one picture being sent out throughout their community to find that missing person. And that's what that community did. They band together and they found that missing man. And that was one of the feel-good stories for me. That was all right by me. The community found him. So that just goes to show you right there. People in your neighborhood, people on your street, people 2 blocks over, it's still your community. And for the people that got together and found that man, kudos to you. Kudos. There are good people out here. And on a more positive note, I wanted to say that 94.7% of individuals that go missing, the elderly in Texas, they are found. They are found. Though the time spent looking, it varies or whatever. But it don't matter how long they looking, as long as that person is found. That's the bottom line. That person is found. You know, and with that being said, it's a lot of silver alerts going out in Texas. Actually, one went out yesterday from somebody. I mean, it was a alert from Sax, Texas, from Sax. Yeah. Wow. If I'm pronouncing it right. I'm from Texas and I can't pronounce some of these cities, but yeah, there's a missing elderly person out of Sax, Texas right now. Right now as I speak. May 29th, 2025. Missing. So if you don't do nothing else today, this is just a call to action to everybody. If you don't do nothing today, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open for anything that can be amiss when it comes to the elderly people in your family. Keep your eyes open when it comes to something being not right with the elderly people in your community. Sometimes you do have to be proactive and knock on the door. Hey, how you doing? I'm your neighbor, so-and-so and so-and-so. Is there anything you ever need? I'm your neighbor and I'm just right across the street. It don't hurt to do that. It really don't hurt to do that. It takes nothing in the world to care. It takes nothing in the world to show compassion. You ain't got to spend no money. The only thing you can do is be there. Because time is what's important right now. And that was another episode of Luk'A'Here, y'all. Coming to you live from Mesquite in the garage, baby. Getting all my stuff together. Getting it together for you. So, join us on the next episode of The Importance of In-Home Care. The importance of in-home care. So, be looking for that podcast. It is coming out. Join us, like, comment, subscribe. Do what you do. Ask me questions because I am very nosy. I love to talk and I will tell you the truth the best way I know it. If I don't know the truth, then I will send you through the proper channels so you can get your truth or you can get your understanding. So, thank you for spending this time watching my podcast and bringing an alert to the missing elderly in Texas. Y'all have a good day and please love each other continuously.